Welcome to the webinar. Are you ready to scale your real estate business using AI and technology? Then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore 14 tools that can revolutionize your workflow, help you with lead generation, creating social media content, and help you close more deals and do it faster while saving money. While this presentation was created with real estate investors and agents in mind, these tools can be used for any type of business, from brick and mortar to service-based businesses, legal to health. Using AI and technology is changing the way people are conducting business and doing things online, and these tools can be applicable in any scenario. So let's start with a little bit about who I am. My name is Anita Ortiz-Luque. I'm a 15-year real estate investor and licensed agent here in Texas, but I'm also a lifelong entrepreneur. I've started several businesses, including e-commerce businesses. We've bought and renovated and rebranded a super cool hotel in Central Texas and still own that property. We own a roofing company, and I've been involved with launching a couple of tech-based businesses, including a travel app. So I have created and launched ShiftSmart AI. I have married my love of real estate with my love of tech. And you'll hear more about ShiftSmart AI later on in the presentation. But I want to share these tools that I've taken a deep dive in for the past 12 months as AI has come on the scene. And I want to share with you these tools that we're using in our businesses, but that you can use in your daily life and in your daily business to grow and scale, do it efficiently, all while saving money. So let's do an overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to touch on all of these tools that help with everything from content creation to efficiency tools to automation options so that you can just set it and forget it. Take a breath. There is a lot here. The goal for today is simple. It's just to expose you to what is out there and get you comfortable and excited about the opportunities. You're going to have access to this presentation and all of the links that come along with these software tools so that you can go and figure out what works for you. So don't worry about taking notes. Just sit back, relax, keep an open mind. I'm going to share examples of how I use them and also share the possibilities of things that you can do with them. AI is moving super fast. I can guarantee you if I come back in 30 days to revise this presentation, I could easily swap out half of these tools with things that are not even on the market yet, things that I can't even imagine will be accessible in 30, 60, 90 days. If you're not using AI and technology that's out there now in your normal business, I can guarantee you that your competitors are, and you will be left behind. They're going to get faster. They're going to get more efficient. They're going to save money that's going to drop to their bottom line. So I encourage you to embrace what I'm going to show you. Keep an open mind and have fun with it. So let's jump in. All right, so let's talk about just some housekeeping for today. Just get the mindset together. AI is not meant to take your job. I know there's a lot of media out there that these tools are going to replace everybody under the sun, and then what's going to happen? The tools that I'm going to show you and how I look at it is these are tools to enhance your productivity, enhance your creativity, but there's always going to need to be a human element. Your voice, your tone, your style of writing, speech, video, whatever it is that you're doing. AI isn't there to replicate, it's there to support. So keep an open mind in that respect. Enhance the possibilities. Think outside of the box. I'm going to share some very simple examples of how I use this. The sky is the limit with these. You can now create images and videos of everything under the sun that you could possibly think of. So as I go through this presentation, think about how it could fit into your business and how you can just explore the creativity behind them. These are universal tools. They're applicable to any industry, any business, any application or scenario. There are tools out there that can make it faster, more efficient, better, cheaper, etc. Be adaptable. I mentioned about the changing environment with AI and technology, and if you're not embracing that, you're going to be left behind. So jump on the bandwagon, embrace what you're going to see, and figure out how it fits into your business easily. I'm really focusing on accessible software. So these are tools that are either free or low cost. They're easy to use. They don't require coding. So if you know how to use a computer and you can point and click, we're going to focus on those kind of tools that are easy for the everyday person to use, but they're also inexpensive. There's so many new players out there. It's driving the cost down on all of these technologies, which is to the benefit of both of us. No tech barrier. I talked about no coding required, point and click and go. And again, the competitive edge. We're already seeing investors, realtors focusing on technology and AI to grow and scale. So if you're not using this, your competitors are, and you need to start thinking about that. So let's talk about ChatGPT. And I don't want to harp on that because people are familiar with ChatGPT, they're using it, they understand it. But I want to share a couple of additional software tools, large language models, or what they are called. Think about it as an assistant on steroids, a replacement to Google. If you actually look, Google's trend lines and search volume are going down because people are turning to things like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude. These are three tools that, while are large language models and essentially do the same thing, they do it a little differently. And so I want you to be aware of how I use these other tools so that you know they're out there and what you can use them for. So let's talk about the differences between these three and which scenarios are best for each of them. So ChatGPT is better for creative and versatile tasks. So if you have things like writing social media content, writing blogs, any kind of copywriting, writing FAQs, because you can tell it to write it at a fifth grade level, write it in a certain tone. You can get creative to spark imagination for branding and product concept. You can build a business plan. You can calculate anything, writing simple code to change CSS on a website. You can ask it to do that for you and more. The nice thing about ChatGPT is you can create custom GPTs, and these are automated tasks that you do every day or things that you want to do on a repetitive level. You can build a prompt into a ChatGPT and it'll be there and you can share it. So if you have a custom use case, for example, we created a custom GPT for a hotel. So it's a recommendation engine that our guests can go to ask, well, where do I go eat? Where should I go for shopping? What kind of winery should I do? And it kind of walks through some questions and spits out some answers. So the sky's the limit on building a particular custom GPT for whatever you want it to do. Perplexity, on the other hand, is much more research focused. So this is a tool that you can use to look up white papers, articles, research reports. It presents back in a very research-based tone. It can also look up internet, real live time internet. So you can ask it to do a summary of a particular website and do a competitive analysis, and it can go out into the internet and pull that information. So I use Perplexity more on as a replacement for Google. I find it's just an easier tool for me to use. Claude, which I don't use a whole lot, but is very highly recommended for a human touch, a human tone. So if you want to use Claude to write emails or write letters or write creative projects that have a human tone, Claude is kind of the way to go. So 3 different platforms. They have free plans. There's a small payment for some of them. I think ChatGPT is $20 for the Pro plan where you can create custom GPTs, but very inexpensive and a very valuable tool to have on your desk every single day. So what you're seeing on the right is some of the things that I use ChatGPT for, and you're looking at my panel for the last couple of months. So things like writer's block. So give me some ideas for real estate blog content. Help me generate that list of things. Help me write a bio for my website. How do I help? I'm helping my husband plan a excursion in Argentina from one airport to another. What's the easiest way to get there? The fastest way? Helping me craft business plans. Helping me figure out how to optimize space in a box, all kinds of odd things that you can just go to, the same as with Google, but I'm getting faster and more reliable responses from GPT in a way that I can use them more efficiently. All right, so you're going to hear me say a few times through this presentation that it's all about the prompt. When you're using AI, you have to give it direction about a myriad of things to help it return to you what you want in a way that you want it. And here's an example. So don't just say, give me 20 blog ideas for real estate investors. Instead, give it clarity, give it purpose, give it context. Tell it what kind of style and tone that you want out of it. What grade reading level? Do you want it at a PhD level, or do you want it at an everyday person level because you're trying to reach the masses? Give me an idea along a niche. If you're doing a particular type of real estate, not anything under the sun, but you want creative financing for real estate investors, give me blog ideas on that. And where do you go to find how to write a prompt? Well, ask ChatGPT to help you write a prompt. And you literally can go in that circular mentality and ask it to help you write that prompt, so that whether you're throwing it into Perplexity or you're throwing it into an AI image creator, you want to get your prompts down. And there's lots of tools out there to help with that, ChatGPT being one of them. You can ask it to help you write the prompt in a way that will give you what you need. But you're also going to hear later on in the presentation, I'm going to give you access to prompt generators so that you can just click, tell it what you want, and the prompt will be spit out for you. So one of the things we as investors are always looking for is data, right? And scraping websites, scraping Craigslist or FSBO websites, or how do we market in a way that we can extract information from a website and be able to find people. And I'll share some examples in a second, but we're talking about Instant Data Scraper. And this is one of my favorite tools. It's a Chrome extension that you put onto your computer. And when you go to any particular web page, it will scrape that information off of that website, and you can export it in an Excel type of a format. So what can you do with this? You can gather market data. You could scrape websites. You can scrape Facebook groups so that you can extract who's in there and figure out how to lead target them. You can track your competitors. And the best thing about this is it's a free tool. So let's take a look at how it works. So here are two examples of how I would use Instant Data Scraper. So scraping an FSBO website, you basically pull the website up, you click on your extension, and it goes for you. And it extracts all of the data on there, property information, contact information, links, whatever is on there, it will extract into a website. So for those of us that are looking for lead generation, this is a way for you to quickly download that, be able to leverage for skip tracing or whatever it is that you do to reach out to these particular people. The second is a more interesting way to use Instant Data Scraper. So private Facebook groups, whether you're looking for buyers, whether you're looking for sellers, whether you're looking for contacts for business purposes, for consulting, or whatever it is, you can go into a particular private Facebook group or any Facebook group, and you can extract the members from that group via Instant Data Scraper. So what do you do with this? So let's say you are looking for military that are relocating to a particular area because you're a retail real estate agent. And there are Facebook groups out there that are military relocation type conversations. You can scrape posts, you can scrape members, you can download that into an Excel, and then you can you'll get their Facebook link, their Facebook profile handle, and you can load that back into Facebook ads and create a custom audience. And you can market directly to that audience if it's large enough, or you can create a lookalike audience. All of a sudden your ads are going to be shown to that particular group, but also their friends and family, or people that are representative of that type of profile, meaning relocation, whatever it is that you're doing. So it's a creative way to get to people without DMing them, without haunting them and stalking them through that Facebook group. It's another tool to use. So let's get into some of the fun stuff. Let's talk about 11 Labs. This is one of my favorites. We're talking about voice cloning now. Whether you want to take advantage of one of 500 voices that they have online, or if you actually want to clone your own voice, This is a leader in that space. They've been around for a few years, which is crazy when you see what they've been doing, but they were one of the pioneers in actually doing this, and the quality is really great. I'm going to share an example of what I've done with it. But you can clone your own voice, use any of them, but the best is that you can translate this into any number of languages: Spanish, Russian, French, whatever it is that you're doing. You can translate your voice, even if you don't speak that language, into any number of languages and communicate with a different audience than you thought you might be able to. This can help create great property descriptions, investment options, but the best of what it does is it alleviates the need for expensive audio equipment and setting up the right stage to be able to record audio, because you'll have your voice or somebody else's that you use via one of their clones to just write your script and then have it translate into audio and do what you want with it. They have free and paid plans. It's actually really inexpensive. You can start it at $5 to get better quality audio out of this, but there is a free plan. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. This is a script that I threw up into ChatGPT. I asked it to write a 1-minute script explaining the buying process. So me as an investor wanting to explain to a seller, a motivated seller, how this process works. And so I said, create this 1-minute script, threw it into 11 Labs, the text of that script, and asked it to use my voice, which I had already created in 11 Labs, and this is the results. Hi, my name is Anita Ortiz. I've been a real estate investor for over 15 years, and I specialize in making the process of selling your home as quick and easy as possible. Here's how it works. We'll start with a quick chat to learn about your property and your situation, and I'll ask for details like the address, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and any recent updates or repairs. This helps me understand your home's condition and your timeline. Next, we'll schedule a time for me to come by and take a look at the property. Don't worry about making repairs or cleaning up. I buy homes in any condition, so there's no need to spend extra time or money getting it ready. After seeing the property, I'll provide you with an all-cash offer within 24 hours. This offer is based on the current market and the condition of your home. There's no obligation to accept, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Now, I'm in Texas. We have a large Hispanic community here, and I know enough Spanish to get myself out of trouble. I cannot speak it fluently to a homeowner, especially when you get into legal and all of those words that I didn't learn the language as a youngster, and I regret that. But these tools can help remove that impetus, that roadblock to finding and attracting those particular types of clients. And so what you're going to hear is the exact same script translated into Spanish in my voice that I can now use on my website, I can use in ads, and I can communicate to an audience what I do clearly.
Hola, mi nombre es Anita Ortiz. He sido inversionista en bienes raíces por más de 15 años y me especializo en hacer que el proceso de venta de su casa sea rápido y sencillo. Así es como funciona. Comenzaremos con una breve conversación para conocer más sobre su propiedad y su situación. Le pediré detalles como la dirección, el número de habitaciones y baños y cualquier actualización o reparación reciente.
So how good is this voice cloning? How good is this technology? So what you're looking at is a picture of me and one of my best friends. This is Sandra. This is somebody that I've known since I was 14, many decades. This is Sandra and me on a trip to Spain a few years ago. And I sent her that Spanish clip via text and said, hey, I'm practicing my Spanish. What do you think? She responded with this GIF that we all know. And the comment, you sound great, no accent. It fooled a friend of 40 years. So take advantage of this cloning option to be able to create content on the whim. That's what we're trying to do here. Save time and efficiently get content out there. And you can do this with 11 Labs. So how easy is it to do this? What are the steps that I took to create this whole voice and this script? Starting with 11 Labs, you need to clone your voice. So you need 1 to 2 minutes of high quality voice. It could be on a computer, it could be on your phone, it's got to be in a quiet place. Read a book, read anything, it doesn't matter, but you need to use the tone and voice that you're looking to clone. So if you want something exciting and uplifting, then you need to use that tone, smile while you're talking, get that voice inflection that you want. If you're somber for whatever reason, or you need to be serious and professional, you want to read in that tone. Throw it into 11 Labs and let it do its magic, and it will clone your voice so that it sets as a voice clone that you can use for the next step. Define your topic and what it is that you want to talk about. What kind of content do you want to create? For me, it was creating a script for a conversation with a motivated seller. Ask ChatGPT to write that script for you. Define how long you want it to be, what kind of tone are you looking for, what kind of reading level are you looking for. Give it some guidance. Remember, it's all about the prompt, and let ChatGPT do its magic. Once you get that script down with ChatGPT, copy it over back to 11 Labs, and you're going to see a little text-to-speech area. Throw that in there and hit submit. Pick the voice you want to use, whether it's yours or one of the 500 that are on that system, and click convert and download, and voila, you're done. You can throw this up into Canva and have a static image like I did for content, or maybe you have a video that you want to have voice to, whatever it is that you want to do. You can do that in Canva or something like Camtasia. And for the Spanish component, you just go back to ChatGPT, you ask it to translate it into Spanish, copy that text, take it back to 11 Labs, back to text to speech, copy it into that area, hit submit, hit convert, and then hit download, and you're done. It's really, really simple. All right, so we talked about voice cloning. Let's talk a little bit about image cloning. Yes, you can now recreate your visual, or you can ask it to create an avatar, and we'll talk about some tools that allow you to do that. But not just images of you can create any kind of image that you want to go along with whatever it is that you're trying to communicate. So let's talk about those tools. You've got Grok, which is a component of X, formerly known as Twitter. You've got Midjourney, and you've got Flex. Flex is something that I found a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. Again, remember the conversation about things are changing so fast. I love Flux. It's just really phenomenal. That's a picture that you're looking at was created with Flux. You can use this for any number of things. Create memes for your advertising, create images of you holding up signs that can say virtually anything. So again, the sky's the limit for what you want to use this for. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. So what you're looking at right now is an ad. So this is something that I would put up into a Facebook ad or on a post, social media post, and basically tell people, hey, I pay for referrals. You got a homeowner down the street that needs, has a vacant house, whatever it is, there's an issue next door, they might be selling. I pay for referrals. So this is something that I would throw up, and I basically told Flex, I need a picture using my image of a contract with some money, and then I overlaid the text on it in Canva. Flex not only does image type creation, it can do cartoonish or drawing type creation based on whatever text you put into it. So this is a play on, good dog, good bot, now go fetch me some motivated sellers. So again, have fun with it. It's meant to be eye-catching, and obviously the more you play with it, the better you get at it. So one of the things that we struggle with is getting, especially if you're just starting, right? What kind of houses can I show on ads? Well, you don't want to be, driving down the road and taking pictures of people's homes. So this is actually a image that I created in Flux. I said I want a traditional ranch style home in Texas in a neighborhood. The landscaping needs to be a little disregarded, needs a little love. It's a 1970s house that's just okay. And this is what it came back with. So a pretty realistic image that I can create in 2 seconds versus finding something online that I would have to pay for. All right, so for retail agents, one thing that I like to do is I go into Facebook ads library, right? So if you're unfamiliar with that, you can go to Facebook ads library and you can see ads that people actually have had online and are currently working. And why would you do that, right? If somebody is spending money to advertise, their ads are probably doing enough for them to keep them up there. So it's also a source of inspiration. So this is a similar image to a retail agent ad that I found on Facebook ads library, and it kind of spoke to me. And so how did I create this? I went into Flux and I said, I want a beautiful living room of a very luxurious house. I want muted earth tones with bright wall art. And this is what it came back with pretty much on the first try. And then I overlaid text to it. So again, you can be creative in your advertisements by using this, and it looks professionally done. And guess what? You don't have to pay a photographer to create it for you.
Flux takes the quality and ability to create images to a whole different level. Now, Flux does take some work. It's a bit more complex, especially if you are looking to clone yourself. Here are 4 images I created in Flux and added text overlay in Canva. A note on text in AI. Most of the models are not great at creating the image with the text in it, or you have to really be good at creating the right prompt to do it properly. I would suggest you place your text in Canva after you've downloaded the image. The top are ads. I did different text concepts on the same image to test what works best. The bottom image of me was completely AI generated by uploading 5 to 10 images of myself. These can be selfies with no makeup, hair in a ponytail. They just need to be clear images of you. From these photos, you can create a version of you in any scenario. This one, I asked it to give me dressed casually, a typical real estate agent stance, in front of a house on a brightly lit day. I'll be doing a video on how to do this step by step soon, so subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep an eye out for it. The last image came from a blog idea for renovations that will increase your home value. I asked Flux to create each of these images and threw them into Canva and using their templates. Once you get the feel for Flux, this becomes super easy.
All right, so Loom, love Loom. I use Loom for a number of things. This is a very inexpensive, if not free, they have a couple of options on there, but this is a way to record your screen and have a visual of you as well. So think about things like walking a property and creating a video for a client because they're out of town, you want to send it to them. Or you're working with somebody, a vendor, and you want to explain something that's on your website, you can create a video. Or you are making an offer on a house and you want to walk that agent or that homeowner through your contract offering via a video, a more personalized experience. Well, that's what Loom does. And the best thing about Loom is it automatically creates a shareable link. So you don't have to download the large video file. You simply copy the link, put it on a text, and send it to whoever your client or whoever you're working with. So again, think about it as a very personalized, low cost, easy to use way to communicate via video to any number of people in any number of scenarios. All right, so we've talked about voice cloning, we've talked about image cloning. Let's talk about agents and chatbots, which are all the rage. This is Closebot AI, and the reason I chose this one, and this is chatbots, and having this on your website is a lot of motivated sellers will reach out for help or are stressed and looking for help in the middle of the night, right? Late hours, they're off work, the kids have gone to bed, they're doom scrolling because they can't sleep, they're stressed out, they're reaching out for help and they want to talk to somebody right then and there. Like they want to make a connection. Chances are even if it's during the day, you're busy, you can't get to the phone, and everything in our business is about speed to lead. If you don't pick up the phone, they're going to find the next person on Google and call them. And you generally lose that opportunity 80 to 90% of the time if you don't get access to that first connection, that first communication with a customer. And so what CloseBot does is you can train it in any profession, any skill, any type of business. So think about a CloseBot that can be trained to speak to motivated sellers or buyers or whoever it is that you're dealing with. It can qualify leads. It can speak in a human tone via text and make that connection. It can help you schedule or help them schedule an appointment for you to call them back. It can answer questions. It is just a lot more communicative and intuitive in terms of being able to connect with somebody via text. So that's CloseBot. So remember I talked about early on that it's all about the prompt when it comes to any kind of training of AI, right? The better the prompt, the better the response, and the better the experience that you're going to have, regardless of what it is that you're training it to do. So how do you do that? One is ask ChatGPT to do it for you. Help me create a prompt to have conversations and qualify leads for motivated sellers. It'll help with that and tweak it until you're happy with it. You can do a Google search for AI prompt generators, and you might see things like the Promptoneer. There's a lot of them out there. Some are paid, some are not. Or you can scan the QR code that you see on your screen. So this is a prompt generator that I created. ShiftSmart is my company, and you can scan that, keep it on your desktop, and basically whenever you need to create a prompt, you just go into this, tell it what you want, and I've trained it to give the best prompt possible. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, so go ahead and scan that and keep that handy. All right, so we've talked about voice cloning, we've talked about image cloning. Let's talk about cloning for video. And this is HeyGen. This is a wildly popular tool that's been out there for a while that produces studio quality video. You can edit it on the spot. You can pick an avatar. They have over 500 avatars in their arsenal that you can pick from, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. They can be static, they can be moving, whatever it is that you want to have on that video. You've got choices basically. But you can also clone yourself. So if you want to create content quickly, you can clone your voice, you can now clone your image, and you can clone for video. So if you want to do training, if you want to do any of that kind of creation, you don't have to worry about sitting down, having, the right lighting, the right audio. HeyGen's going to take care of that for you because you've already created that foundation in there. You just, again, upload your script, whatever it is that you've written or had ChatGPT write for you, throw it into HeyGen, pick your avatar, pick your voice, pick your language. You can translate into any number of languages and hit go. It'll convert for you, and then you can edit. You can overlay text, you can overlay graphics, you can do any number of things to create the type of video that you're looking for. So let's take a peek at what an example of this. So this is a conversation. I envision a agent maybe sending this to a buyer or a seller whose contract has been accepted. And you get the question, particularly with new homeowners, well, what happens now? And that process can be scary. So this is a assistant who is going to explain the process in a very simple way. And this was all created using HeyGen.
Hi, I'm Angie, assistant to Joan Harper with Keller Williams. Congratulations! Your offer has been accepted, and now we're officially under contract. Here's what happens next as a buyer so you know what to expect. First, your contract will be sent to the title company, where they'll receipt it and start the title search to make sure the property can transfer to you without any issues. You'll also need to submit your earnest money to the title company within 3 days, and if applicable, your option fee directly to the seller. If you have an option period, this is your time to schedule a home inspection and negotiate any repairs. Your lender will also order an appraisal to confirm the property's value aligns with your loan amount. Over the next few weeks, the title company will work behind the scenes to verify ownership and issue a title commitment, while your lender finalizes your loan approval. You may be asked for additional documents during this process, so be sure to respond quickly to keep things on track. As we approach closing, title will prepare your final paperwork, and we'll schedule your signing. If all goes smoothly, you'll be closing in about 45 days and getting the keys to your new home. If you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.
All right, so this is a huge tool for efficiency, and that's TurboScribe. So think about YouTube University. We are all students of YouTube University. If you want to learn how to do something, that's generally the place that you go, right? But listening to an hour-long video here, a 30-minute video there, getting through the fluff, trying to pull out all the content that you need, most of us don't have that kind of time to just sit there and go through video to get what you need out of it. And so that's where TurboScribe can come in. You can take any video of any length, throw the link in there, hit submit. TurboScribe will transcribe that video into text so that you've got a readout of that, but it will also do a number of things like create FAQs off of that video, create a series of questions. So think about if you wanted to interview on this topic, this can help create those questions for you. It can create a summary for you. So it does a lot of different things within this platform to pull the information from a video so that you don't have to literally watch it. It can be any video anywhere. So let's take a peek at what you can do with this. It is a free tool for up to 3 transcriptions, and then it's a monthly $10 fee for unlimited. So again, a very accessible platform. So let's take a look at an example. So I took a YouTube video that was literally a minute in length. This is Alan Chesker. He's a well-known attorney, real estate attorney here in Texas, and does a lot with investors. And this was his conversation, education about should you sell a house before or after or during a divorce. A quick 1-minute video, a short basically is what he had. So I took that video, I transcribed it in TurboScribe. I downloaded the text from that, and then I threw it into ChatGPT, and I asked it to write an educational video for motivated sellers going through a divorce. Tweak it until you like it once you get that content back. And then I went back to Hey Jen, remember Hey Jen, we talked about it, and threw that text in there and created a video that talks through this concept so that I can house it on a website. I gave it some directions, I gave it a call to action, and let's take a look at how that video turned out.
Hi, it's Jen again. Divorce is tough, and when property is involved, it can get even more complicated. One of the most common questions is, should I sell my house before or after the divorce? The short answer is yes. You should sell either before or after the divorce is finalized, not during. Here's why. Selling during divorce often requires a court order to approve the sale, which can be time-consuming and expensive. Selling before divorce allows you and your spouse to agree on how to divide the proceeds, while selling after divorce requires a clear and detailed divorce decree to avoid complications. Selling your home before the divorce is finalized offers several advantages. 1. Avoid court involvement. You won't need the court to approve the sale. 2. Simplify asset division. Proceeds can be divided based on mutual agreement, reducing disputes. 3. Clean break. It eliminates future communication or financial entanglements tied to the property. If you choose to sell your property after the divorce, there are some crucial steps to ensure a smooth process. 1. Detail the property in the divorce decree. Your decree must list the property's full address and legal description. Without this, the title company may require additional court orders, delaying the sale. 2. Specify who has authority to sell. The decree should state who is responsible for managing the sale. 3. Plan for tax implications. Selling the property could have tax consequences, especially if one spouse retains ownership and sells it later. Avoid quitclaim deeds. A common mistake is trying to transfer ownership between spouses using a quitclaim deed. Most title companies won't accept these because they don't provide sufficient guarantees about ownership. Instead, use a special warranty deed or a general warranty deed, which ensures proper legal transfer. Consult an attorney and tax advisor to make sure you are getting the best advice and can make the best decision for you. When you are ready, contact us at 999-9999 to discuss the sale of your home.
Okay, so we're talking about a lot of different tools here, and I wanted to stop, pause, and give you a resource that you can use if you don't necessarily have the time or inclination to learn how to do all of this stuff, right? Or maybe you need a little bit more expertise to take it to the next level. If you're unfamiliar with Upwork and Fiverr, these are global platforms where you can go and hire people, independent contractors, anybody out there in the world who has any skill set. You can hire them for any number of things. I have used Upwork for 15 years, and you're going to see in just a second how I use them, just a snippet of things that I've gone and hired on Upwork for. But the best thing about Upwork is that you can have access to a global talent pool in other areas of the world and hire them at a drastically reduced rate. It could be either an hourly rate or a fixed rate because the cost of living isn't so expensive in the Philippines for VAs, for example. A lot of investors will hire for VAs from the Philippines, but you can hire US talent as well. So it's just a way to find people to hire for ad hoc projects or hire full time and just have a virtual person helping you. So what you're looking at are just a snippet of projects that I've used Upwork for since 2015. So landscape design. So we had a very big house. I needed a professional landscape architect to define and create that plan for me. Video editing of any number of things. I wanted a more professional video editor for things that we were doing for the hotel. Financial analysis. So if you're looking to sell a business and you need to find somebody to help you do evaluation, we went offshore for developers in India to help build a travel app. So we did that. Graphic design, copywriting, website building, coding, web scrapers. We've used them to scrape county appraisal districts. Any kind of logo and brand identity, you can hire virtual assistants, cold callers. That's a big thing in the Philippines for investors to use. So again, you could, if it's out there to be done, chances are you can go to Upwork and find somebody to do it for you at a pretty reasonable price. So let's talk about a presentation type tool. So this is Gamma. This presentation that you're watching was created on Gamma. And think about it as the next generation after PowerPoint. My former life, I was in corporate banking for a long time, and I was the PowerPoint queen. Every single presentation was done on PowerPoint, and the work that goes into PowerPoint from laying everything out and conceptually and graphics, it's just a lot of work. And it took hours, if not weeks, depending on the presentation to get that done. And if you've worked in PowerPoint, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is Gamma. So what does Gamma do? You can basically create investment proposals, property portfolios, showing, listing appointments, investor websites. It's all powered by AI. So what does Gamma basically do? Well, it's easier for me to give you an example in relation to this presentation. So I knew the 14, 15 tools that I wanted to share with you. I knew what they were, I knew what they did. And so I went to ChatGPT again and asked it to create an outline for a presentation of each of these tools, what they did, and some features and benefits. And it came back with this script. I threw it into Gamma, picked a template of the presentation that I liked, picked the color scheme, all of fonts, etc., and literally hit submit, and within 30 seconds had the framework of this presentation done. And then it becomes an issue of swapping out the images, of adding context to text, and really kind of making it my own. Again, it's not meant to replace me as a human. It's meant to subsidize and lift up my work to make it better looking, make it more presentable. So that's Gamma. All right, so let's talk about Napkin. So this is an interesting tool that I wanted to share. A lot of us are visual learners. We respond better to images or graphics that kind of explain complex concepts, and that's what Napkin does. It's free, absolutely free. It's in beta version, so take advantage of this. But basically, you can visualize workflows. You can help understand a process with visuals. It helps improve efficiency. And so this was something that was created in Napkin. So create visuals to explain concepts to buyers and sellers. This was done. How do I determine the amount that I offer you for your home? That's a question that investors like myself get all the time is how did you come up with that number? And kind of talking through that's easy, but if you can kind of show them there's a number of variables that I use to come up with that magic number. It's the property value. What kind of strategy am I going to employ? Am I going to keep it? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to flip it? What am I going to do with it? What's the market trends doing right now? Is this something I can get rid of pretty quickly? If not, there's more risk to me. Is the property in good condition? Is it not? Where's the location? So you get the idea. You're visually explaining a concept to somebody, and that can go a long way when you're doing a presentation. All right, so similar to TurboScribe, this is another efficiency tool that I just adore and love, and found this a few weeks ago. So this is Taja AI. This is solely around repurposing social media content. So if you are doing a lot of social media videos or content in general, how do you take that and leverage it and turn it into other things that you can put on other platforms to help you go along? So that's what Taja does. You can take a small snippet of content, a short video. It'll transcribe the video for you, and it will regurgitate it back into any number of formats. It could be shorts for Instagram Reels or TikTok. It can be text. It could be outlined or FAQs, etc. So it's meant to turn that back into these various types of formats and include the SEO components that make them very important when you put them up onto the internet. So it'll create tags for you. It'll create thumbnails. So for YouTube videos, and you're going to see a short example of that in just a second. It will do keywords. It will give timestamps so that, when you go into a YouTube video and you hit the description, there's tags in there, timestamps of what is covered in each area of that video. Well, that's automatically done for you. And you can publish this content automatically from Taja onto your social media. So very efficient tool. So let's take a look at what this does.
Let's see how Taja works. Drop a YouTube link into Taja, and in seconds, it transcribes your video, analyzes your audience, and generates SEO-optimized titles, descriptions, tags, and chapters. So your content ranks higher and reaches more viewers. Need a thumbnail? Taja creates AI-powered designs or pulls the best face shots from your video, ready to grab attention. You can edit any of this to make it your own. It will even save your style for future videos and shorts. Want short-form content? Taja automatically finds the best moments, formats them into high-impact shorts and clips, and optimizes them for YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram Reels. I sped this clip up, but this took me about 3 minutes total. Let's take a moment to see how this turned out. Automatically launched to all the platforms with a click of a button.
And our mindset shifted from being somebody that's saying, begging or being in a inferior position, asking for something, to offering something. Dan, I'm offering you 10% interest if you want to loan me, and it's collateralized by something worth more than you're loaning me. And it starts to look pretty clear that this is a pretty safe, collateralized investment with a great return. So I think that's kind of the synopsis of how private money has worked for us, and that's come from people's savings, and it's come from retirement accounts. You had some good ideas, I think, on why people will invest with somebody as far as the taking action.
Yeah, Taja also helps revive old videos, improving their SEO and repurposing them for fresh engagement. Plus, it suggests high-ranking content ideas based on real-time search trends, so you're always ahead of the curve. It's fast, it's automated, and it's designed to help you create more content in less time. so you can focus on what matters most. Being more visible so you gain credibility and grow your real estate business.
So that was done with very little editing and very little effort. So a lot of the stuff that I'm showing you, I've just taken the first run of it because I want you to see how easy and what the quality is. With a little bit of work, something like this can be very, very powerful in terms of being able to create content. Taja is the most expensive thing on here. It runs about $50 a month, but well worth it, especially if you've got a backlog of content that you have on a particular platform. Let's say you've been doing Instagram for a long time. You can take that content and now just regurgitate it and repurpose it and reuse it. All right, so this is the second Google platform that I'm going to share with you. So we talked about Napkin, which does visual representation of complex ideas, but this is Notebook, and this is what they call content amplification. So basically, you can create off of a text concept document a podcast, and that's really what I use it for. And so you take your text, or you take a link, or you take whatever it is that you want to turn into a professionally sounding AI generated podcast, and be able to house that online to get credibility, or you could actually host the podcast yourself with your own cloned voice. So let's talk about a small example. So this is Stepstone Realty. Stepstone is who holds my license. They're a very creative real estate brokerage firm out of Central Texas that has about 300 agents. They're primarily investor agents, people that want it like me, who want to hold our license and do investing. And so I wanted to create a podcast for them that I will house on my ShiftSmart website that talks about what is Stepstone Realty. And so this was solely created by taking their main website link and throwing it into Notebook and asking it to create the podcast. So take a minute to listen to the first part of this and see what is coming back in terms of this simple process.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at a Texas-based brokerage called Stepstone Realty.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're kind of raising eyebrows with their approach to real estate. You know, they seem to be blending that traditional agent role with real estate investing.
Wow.
Creating this kind of agent-investor hybrid. So instead of just helping others buy and sell properties, you know, the traditional way,
Right.
they're encouraging their agents to build their own real estate portfolios too.
Well, that's an interesting model, and it really speaks to, like, you know, that changing real estate landscape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are seeing more and more agents, I think, looking for ways to diversify their income and build that long-term wealth.
Exactly. And Stepstone is leaning into this trend big time, you know?
Yeah.
They're branding it as the freedom to succeed. Pretty catchy.
That is catchy.
So they're making 3 core promises: freedom, support, and community.
Okay.
So let's take a look at those.
Yeah, let's unpack those a little bit.
Yeah.
So freedom, as they describe it, means empowering agents to build their business their way.
Okay, so it's about breaking free from that traditional brokerage mold and giving agents more autonomy, more flexibility.
More control over their destiny, so to speak.
Exactly.
But what about support? How does Stepstone go beyond those typical brokerage offerings, you know?
Well, their support system seems to be centered around education and resources,
Okay.
and particularly in an area that they call creative real estate investing. Now, this seems to be a key differentiator for them,
Okay.
and it ties directly back to that agent-investor hybrid model we were talking about.
Creative real estate investing. It sounds a bit mysterious, almost like a secret society.
Yeah.
But seriously, what exactly does that mean?
Well, that's a great question. You know, it's not entirely clear from their marketing materials, but it does seem to suggest going beyond those typical strategies like simply buying and holding or flipping houses.
Pretty cool, right? Pretty fun little tool to have. Now, what can you do with this thing? Well, there's any number of ways to leverage this content. You can generate social media. So you've got a new podcast that you can throw out there. You can go back to Taja AI or something called Opus Pro, which is another repurposing tool, and ask it to cut it up into several different snippets, several different shorts so that you can put onto Instagram or TikTok. You can transform it into written content. So again, going back to TurboScribe, throwing that video, video link, the MP4 link, the audio link, throwing it in there and asking it to transcribe it and going through that process again, where you can create blog posts, newsletters, website articles, white papers, social media graphics. So, that beautiful, graphic quote that you see on a lot of Instagram pages, where you can pull that from your podcast. You can break it down into downloadable PDFs. So if it's educational, you can create a PDF off of that and link to the full podcast as things that you can share with clients or prospects. You can create infographics off of it. So again, taking that text, that concept, and throwing it into Napkin and asking it to create a conceptual, a visualization of that concept. You can do an email content series. So again, taking snippets and sharing that with your email audience and create educational resources for them. You can do language versions. So do a version in Spanish, French, Chinese, whatever it is that you want to do. You can do that as well. And you can also produce other videos with it. So podcast is generally audio only. Well, you can have static images or stock video or even video that you have captured with your iPhone and have that as a backdrop. So you can throw that into Canva and overlay the podcast information on there, the podcast audio, and create a video that's separate and apart from everything that you're doing. So we're almost to the end, and I wanted to take just a minute to talk about ShiftSmart AI, and that's my company. I've now married my love of real estate with technology and focusing on helping you as real estate professionals find leads where people are, and that is online. Everything that we talked about is helping you find and leverage tools that are online. And I think we all know that most people are on Facebook and Instagram and Google searching for things daily. So this is meant to supplement your other activities of direct mail and cold calling, but again, focus in on using the internet to find leads. So this is a digital marketing agency on steroids. We do any number of things, again, primarily in the marketing space, but it's also a super powerful CRM with a lot of different bells and whistles that I'll talk about in just a second. But let's talk about what our primary platform is to help you find leads. Our paid ad platform is literally 3 clicks to launch. Pick your ad. We provide the graphics, templates, and copy. Pick your budget and your timeline, hit submit, and you're off and running. Your ads will show on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Those leads that come in can interact with a AI voice agent or chatbot that are specially trained to deal with motivated sellers. They're going to answer all of the questions in the right way, but they're also going to qualify your leads. You're going to get all of that information from property address, condition of the property, reason that they're selling, timeline to sell, etc. And that information is put into a super powerful CRM that does a number of things, primarily automation through workflows. Those leads will go into a workflow for nurture emails. So if they're not quite ready, you can stay consistently in front of them via automated text and emails. Workflows to notify you of appointments that they've scheduled via the AI voice agent or chatbot to get a cash offer. So we're looking to fill your calendar automatically with lead appointments so that you're focused on making offers and closing deals. But we don't stop there. ShiftSmart is a tool that allows you to replace other software, other expensive software, and improves efficiency and helps you to save money. We provide SEO optimized websites. You can either take advantage of one of our ready-made templates or you can create something from scratch. You can build unlimited number of funnels for your paid ad strategies. We allow you to record phone calls with your leads so that you always have that information captured. E-signature functionality, so you can get rid of DocuSign and dot loop and basically have your contracts as a template in your system and send them out as you're making offer for e-signatures. Social media planner, so you can craft that content online and schedule it to be loaded into any number of social media platforms. You have email campaign functionality, so think MailChimp. You can do the same thing all in this one tool. You have Google reputation management. So again, going out and getting reviews from past clients will help with your SEO and visibility so that you are attracting leads that way. You have full calendar functionality so that you can manage your schedule, and you have a very robust deal and pipeline platform to help you manage your deal flow as it goes through to closing. All of this can be customized as you see fit, but it's all in one place, allowing you to be super efficient and save time and money. So just so you know that I practice what I preach, this presentation was made with a number of these tools that I've talked about today. And we talked a lot about ChatGPT and Perplexity in particular. Gamma was used to do the presentation itself. I used Flux, Grok, and Canva Gamma as well to create images for the presentation. And then all kinds of assets were created using various types of software, from 11 Labs to HeyGen and on and on. So a little bit of this presentation was derived from all of those platforms. All right, so it's been a long presentation. I'm starting to lose my voice, but I wanted to say congratulations. You have taken a huge step into the world of AI. I'm sure you're overwhelmed. It's a lot. But now what? Where do you go from here? Again, key takeaways: embrace AI for what it is. Find tools that interest you and that you can leverage in your business, but also realize that you need to do it to stay competitive. Your competition is using AI and technology already. I can promise you that. But think about what you can do with it with a little bit of knowledge and dedication to learning these tools, how fast you can grow and scale in any number of areas. So what are next steps? You really have one to focus on. Pick one of these tools, one of these software applications that I've talked about today. Pick one of them. Spend time on it, learn it, use it in your business, grow with it, get creative, get comfortable with it. Don't try them all at once. Find one that you like, one that speaks to you, and embed it in your business on a daily basis. And then move on to the next one. You're going to find that once you implement one of them, you're going to come back for another and come back for another. Get plugged in. There are lots of Instagram and Facebook groups that are constantly talking about AI and the things that are coming down the pike and new processes and softwares and things that are out there. You can jump on this bandwagon, this rabbit hole, and really get excited about what's out there. And then regularly evaluate. As I mentioned, there's so many new things coming on these days that next week there could be something that's really exciting that you want to be able to replace something that you're using. But again, pick one, focus on it, learn it, and then move on to the next one. So we're at the end, and what happens next? You're going to get an email from me with this deck and a presentation in it, as well as a link to all of the resources and then some that we talked about. You're probably going to see about 40 different resources on this Google document, and I'm constantly updating it, so continue to check back as things will be added to it. Use that, keep it on your desk, and when you need a tool, you'll be able to find it. Please join me again. I will continuously update this presentation with new tools that I find interesting. Get on our email list at shiftsmartai.com and keep in touch with us via our webinars. You can also visit ShiftSmart to schedule a no obligation strategy call with me. We'll take 30 minutes to talk about your business, what investing or retail that you're doing in the real estate space, and how I can help you personally, or how ShiftSmart can help you on the technology side to grow and scale. I want to thank you for spending an hour or so of your time with me. I know time is precious these days, but I hope that what I've given you will give back that hour and then some by using this technology.